Hi everyone, so in today's video's focus, I'm going to talking about how to assemble external walls and as well as how to make internal walls as well, okay? So before you get onto this step, please make sure you have all the equipments ready. So, which means you need to have a cutting mat, okay, ready to go. You need to have a steel ruler, as always, again. You need to have a knife, a scalpel knife, this is called scalpel knife, or a standing knife, a sharp standing knife. You need to have your floor plan cut down through the boundary and sticking onto your base, a base of A3 foam board. And also you need to have your walls, all of the external walls here, lining up, ready to go, okay? Last thing before we head start, today we're gonna do some of the gluing, okay, which you will need a hot glue gun like this, okay, and the hot glue gun has a wire that you need to plug in on to get electricity to heat it up. So note that this part can be a bit hot, so when you're plugging that in and heating it, so try not to touch it because it will get really hot. All right, what we're using for glue is this. So this is a refill. Okay, so if ever these things in here got empty, you need to plug in through here to get a refill. Okay, so this gun itself, the body will heat up the glue and then it will melt it, so it will serve as a way so that we could glue things together. Okay, but before it's hot, before you could actually push this button and get the hot glue out of it, please just leave it there, leave it some time for it to get heated. Okay, so as always, today I'm going to start by gluing some of the walls onto here. But before you actually happily get on top of gluing, I would like to invite you to really start consider about your internal wall, because if I glued all of the external wall, let's say on here, okay, if I actually glued all of the external walls on here, all right, it will be rather difficult, okay, for me to, in the future, to map out where, sorry, that's the other piece, that's the piece. So it will be really difficult for me to, when I finish putting all of them, it will be really difficult for me to map the internal wall, okay? So, but however, you don't want to have a good amount of wall pieces floating around everywhere so that in the end you forgot which piece belongs to which, okay? So I would encourage you to glue some of the external wall on here, but don't glue all of them to prevent you from measuring the internal wall, because in the end you will need to do the internal wall, okay? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select some pieces that is not going to cost me trouble, so I'm going to glue them on. I might just glue this piece, and I might also glue this piece on here as well. Okay, so I'm gluing two parts of the wall, but again, I'm leaving a bit of a space in here so that I can actually map how big is this internal wall, how big are these internal walls as well. So I could just cut them down and comfortably placing them in without a need to measure it from other maps. However, if you decided that I'm just gonna glue all the walls on and external walls on to keep the hassles, and I'm gonna find my actual plan and I'm gonna measure it on here and cut them down, that's also a valid way. Okay, I just want to leave it to you to decide which process works with you the best, and maybe have a trial on. Okay, maybe have a trial on. Okay, but this is how it works for me the best. All right. Okay, now my hot glue gun is ready. Okay, so you can see some of the melting already happening here. Okay, so which means this is a good state for you to start gluing a little bit things onto your floor plan. Now, if this is your first time of using a hot glue gun, I would strongly recommend you to maybe find some scrap pieces anywhere that you can find in the classroom. I'm sure there's plenty of them. And then use them to as a test, a trial to see what are some desired results to it, okay? So for those kind of hot glue guns, it can be a bit of, those things is actually pretty strong, Okay, so you actually don't need that much of a glue here, and then you will see these little tiny pieces of leftovers hanging around. You don't want that happen, so you actually don't need that much of a glue. You only need like a tiny little bit. And once it's before it's dry, please just quickly stick it on the geometry that you want it to be connected. You only need tiny little bit. You don't have to actually make a lot. If you actually use a lot of a glue, if you can see it here. Okay, so there are some excess hanging around. You don't want that to be also here as well. You don't want that to be a lot of those hanging around on your models, and you won't look great. Okay, so let's use this piece as a demonstration again. You only need a tiny little bit. So push this button. Okay, while you're pushing it, you're just doing a tiny little bit glue will do. Okay, tiny little bit glue will do. Okay, maybe you need to get a little bit, slightly a bit more. Okay, just slightly push it so you're not getting too much of the glue. Okay, I'm just getting a little bit will do, and then I will need to stick on top of here. Okay, okay, push it a little bit. Okay, push a little bit, and then it will stick. Okay, it will stick instantly. Okay, it will be quite strong so that I can hold on to it confidently, and it will not have too much excess coming around like this, and it won't look great on your model. Okay, all right, now let's start gluing a bit of our walls on here. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna glue this piece of the wall. I'm going to push, okay, so that there are some coming out. Okay, okay, I think I might need to pull in another strap here, otherwise it's not working. Okay. 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 Just a little bit glue will do. So what you can do is just point and pull it off a little bit, and then you squeeze again, and then you pull it off a little bit, and then just to make sure all parts of it has a little bit glue. So see mine, okay, and then you come back over here, okay, to make it stick on your model. Okay, you want to hold on to it for a while until it dries. Okay, until it dries. Or if you have some something maybe like this, you could actually help it to stand up. So you want to hold on to it for a while until it's dry. Okay, you don't want to leave it up immediately. Okay, yeah. Seems like it's almost dry, so I'll make it stand, look like that. Okay, and then I'm now gonna come and head towards the side where I'm gonna stick this piece of wall here. Okay, like this. All right, so once again, I'm come back to my hot glue gun. So I am pulling a little bit over here. Okay, I'm actually going to evenly spread this. And just tiny little bit of more glue will work. Okay. All right, so I will make sure that it stands like this using this little piece of metal to make sure it's standing on your table, or you can make sure that's lying down. Okay, and then I'm gonna come over and glue my piece on here. All right. All right, hold on to it for a bit while. Okay. Okay, until it can stand perfectly. Okay, awesome. Some of you might want to do some gluing here on the jointing point. That's fine. Okay, just make sure you do that before you actually glue your wall on top of here. Okay, on top of here. Now, I'm gonna disconnect my my hot glue gun so it's not heating too much. Otherwise, you will see glue start to popping out through here. All right, and you're not wasting glue. All right. So now I'm going to do my internal wall. Okay, I'm going to do some of my internal wall. All right. Okay.